Dear colleagues, while thinking what I want to say during this debate, I decided to look at my phone and to look through my messages, emails history with Vladimir Kara-Murza. We used to have some communication by emails, exchanging the views of what was happening in the end of 2021. In October 2021, when Mikheil Saakashvili was politically arrested in Georgia, and later where there was a lot of tensions on upcoming Russian aggression against Ukraine. And Vladimir Kara-Murza writes to me. He says that he really hopes that the April session in the Council of Europe would be fruitful. He shares with me some motions for future resolutions, and he says that he really wishes that situation in Georgia would be resolved soon. And he wishes strength and says that everything is going to be all right. Vladimir Kara-Murza is the person that we can all call idealist, human rights defender, someone who is not afraid. And I feel very, very bad when from one session to another we continue talking and talking. We have different debates, and that's great. But the time goes on, and the situation with pro-Russian influence in many countries and those who stand up against Russia, unfortunately, is not getting any better. Since that time, we have people more imprisoned, more in jail, those who stand up against Kremlin regime. And the regime is never about democracy. That regime is about violence and keeping any will of freedom dead. This is what Russia is currently implementing. And Russia is waiting that we will be weak and that we will be talking. And I want to quote our President Zelensky, who once said, "Don't ask when the war in Ukraine will be over. Please ask why we didn't do enough to stop this full-scale invasion and aggression against Ukraine." Dear colleagues, we may complain that we don't have enough tools, but we have some. And it's great that in the report we are talking about sanctions not only as Kara-Murza personal list sanctions, but also sanctions that can really limit the production of the military production inside Russia. We're talking about also different other tools, but I want to address this assembly. Please, let's call everyone, every state to try to facilitate humanitarian transfers of such political prisoners as Vladimir Kara-Murza, as Mikheil Saakashvili, who is actually in Georgia, not in Russia, but somehow it's not happening. Georgian government is not releasing him because of pro-Russian influence. Let's do everything possible that this freedom of idealists is protected. This is our role, and that's why we should remember and do everything possible that these tools will work. Thank you.